What's up, everybody? It's your boy Tony Ortiz back again with another This Week in Brave Exvius. I'm here with you on March 22nd, 2023. And as you can tell from the title, it is premium season. So we talked about this a little bit last week. There was a lot of other stuff in there. It's only getting more robust in terms of all the issues with the game. We're going to dive right into that first before we talk about the new stuff, because if you caught last week's episode, and I highly recommend you do, towards the end we kind of like talked about, a state of the game, kind of like an update. I've done a previous update, state of the game kind of thing, and we kind of built on that. And I just want to talk a little bit about what's going on with DV and some of the other ridiculous tie-ins to it before we move on to the actual real news of the week. And then eventually the plan is to consolidate like the state of the game from anniversary 5 to, or was it 6th? The last anniversary was 6th. Anniversary 6 to anniversary 7. I'm sure that right around the May to June time before anniversary, I'll basically be coming with that, because then also we'll have the full amount of data from global, and then towards the end I can say or bring up some stuff like this is what we need in order to continue supporting the game, kind of thing. And again, supporting the community is different from supporting the game 100%. So clicking on people's videos and playing the game and content, supporting the community. Supporting the game is spending money on it, and so on. So let's just dive right into this stuff. Okay, so we got Dark Visions reopened, and hey, guess what? There's even more RNG now because you go into this final stage, and Riku can go ahead and get even more counters. There's the little mobs that can attack you as well, and then of course there's also the new bug that was discovered. So I'm not going to go through it in detail. You can go and check out other news videos, but basically what it does is it lets you bring an extra party member, which lets you get more counters on Riku, which puts people who use the bug into a tier above the people that are not using it. And again, this is not modified client stuff. Typically when you look at the scores here, you'll see a bunch of cheated scores. Obviously people with max scores are cheating. But there's people that use modified clients and stuff like that I don't understand how Gumi has done absolutely nothing to stop any of this, but they usually will ban these people, from Dark Visions at the very least. Like you can see here, like a Rain rank 36. This is not possible, right? This is a cheated score. But it's actually making a lot of the players that spend a lot in the game lose their rank, and this is the second time with this particular DV this has happened. And with the way the game is set up right now, it's really built for whales to carry the burden of the cost, especially from this week forward, because we are going to get a lot of premium units in a very short amount of time. So you're talking about a 25% increase. If we're going from 46 to 60, so 15. Yeah, so you're talking about almost a 25% increase in cost to pity a unit, and then you're also looking at a bunch of units that aren't going to come with fragments whatsoever. That's just going to put a really big taxing on a lot of the casual players. So really, they're really going to be leaning on whales a lot to carry the load in the next few months leading up to anniversary. And this is the whale mode. Dark Visions is the whale mode. To have it be broken and not be something that whales can grind on is probably pretty detrimental, because it's the only piece of content that also really lets you flex how big your unit pool is, and use all the different units that maybe are open to you. Like Riku was basically untouched from release, but then in the last two Dark Visions, all of a sudden she becomes the best. So if you pulled for Riku as a whale and you have EX3 Riku, all of a sudden you're basically guaranteed top 500, and now you're in an RNG roll off with all of your fellow whales that have it, right? So as much as I don't really care for that situation, it is important to the game's survival, and this failure to properly not only bug squash and QA test, but the failure to see the stuff coming down the pipeline, because Dark Visions are directly imported from JP. So the team at Gumi does not work on this stuff. They just import it, and they maybe will make adjustments here and there. Like they screwed us with they screwed Cog out of his Dark Vision because they wanted us to pull on Balthier. Like they'll do some things like that. But now the last couple they've just straight copied them from JP. They've not changed anything. So you get this information at least 6 months before you're going to release it, and you don't even have anybody looking ahead usually, is what it feels like when this stuff comes down and it's not even fixed before it's launched. Then you take the game down, you take this out of the game for a week. Presumably you have some people working on it, and then you put it back up, and then now there's another easily exploitable bug that exists. What to do about this? For this particular Dark Visions, I think the easiest thing to do is just close it down with this maintenance, give up on it, give everybody that cleared all the bosses 10,000 lapis flat, and then, I really think that they should go through this list and just start banning people. Period. Their accounts completely. I know the modified client, people will just remake and do all this other stuff, and we'll talk about that in a second. But I think that if you are like under rank like 200, first of all, if you have a cap score, in this version, you should be banned because they fixed the problem that lets you cap the score, basically dealing infinite damage. This one is just going to let you get extra counters on Riku. So what it's going to do is it's going to propel the people who use it just to the next tier of scores. So you can easily go through here and like, basically ban everybody above like 260 something or, or two. I mean, like, let me try to find a legitimate score. Hold on a second. Let me try to find a name I recognize. Here, the problem as well. Okay, Cloud 03, but this one is clearly not actually Cloud. You can see like how they changed the letters. And then in here, this is not actually Sinzar. This is somebody trying to make it. See, as you can see, there's another one here. Sinzar's already posted his final score, and what's happening is you'll see these people, these jabronis, changing their names to the top content creators or the top people that typically get good scores to try to confuse what little moderation Gumi does over this stuff, and that's just a sad state, to be honest. Is this actually Barry? Yeah, it's got Barry's. Let me see if he's on here. I actually have Barry as a friend, so I can actually look here. Go up to the top. He should be at the top. Okay, yeah. So Barry's the first legitimate score I can recognize, but then again, I mean, there could be some people that are above him that are legitimate that I don't have on my friends list, and I can't double check. But yeah, like 200,000 is about where you're going to be able to cap, and that's only because of Riku and how ridiculous she works in these fights, right? So somewhere in here, there are not legitimate scores. The legitimate scores stop, and then there's some illegitimate ones. But even then, as you scroll down, there are people with clients that will cheat their scores to be somewhere in here to try to get top 10, top 50, top 100, for the extra lapis and so on. The thing is that they're using a hacked client. I think they can probably like infinitely pull with tickets, and then it's just a waiting game on how. I don't know how any of this shit works, but really it shouldn't work. Real quick, the way the game likely works is you play on the client, and then at the end of the fight you send the data up to the servers, and then that syncs up, and then that sticks. That's why when a quest gets interrupted and you try to like relog into the game, it'll say, do you want to resume? And the game tries to hold that because if it never sent that data up on completion or failure, so that data would be lost if you're not able to send it up, right? So if you're ever playing the game when it comes down for maintenance in the middle of a battle, you'll see this. You'll see it in some other situations where the game crashes. So what's likely happening is people can use a modified client and then just send their data up, and the server accepts it because it sees it as the client, even though the client's modified. What's interesting is that there's no other way to prevent any of this. I feel like even though the data is mostly kept on your device and then just synced up with their servers, there's probably a bunch of stuff that they could do if they were willing to spend the money, to do it. And so this is one of the issues that you're going to have to deal with when you don't have those kind of things. You have to hand moderate all these scores, and I seriously doubt that anybody at the Gumi office is their prime function on like the day that a Dark Visions closes is to go through these scores. And honestly, even if it's not somebody who understands the game inside and out, they're going to be useless. You can look at anything's moderation. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Most of it's done by algorithms, and algorithms do not have nuance or intuition or a lot of the ability to connect the dots that are not obvious. And that's kind of what you need to moderate something. There's all sorts of variables that aren't anticipated. You have to be reacting quickly, and AI and algorithms and stuff that we've made as humans, most of it is just not to that level yet. It just doesn't adapt properly, and that's what you need, and we don't have that. So it's unfortunate that this is the case. You basically have no shot of getting inside the top 1,000 if you're not a whale, and even if you are, you might get pushed out depending on how many people who have Riku decide to try this, and then how poor the moderation happens when they close this. Now, again, they've acknowledged, Gumi has acknowledged the issue, but they have not given us a plan of what they're going to do. So when we go down for maintenance tonight, when it comes back up tomorrow, Dark Visions might be closed. It might be open for another week. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But like I said, I think the easiest solution is to just give up on this Dark Visions, and honestly, don't even start the next one until this shit's fixed. Running it and then having to go back and fix it and then take it down and then put it back up because they can never fix it in their 8-hour maintenance window. Again, no other mobile game that I know of goes down every week for maintenance. But then again, most mobile games are putting a new unit into the game every single week, which is just, again, them hitting themselves in the leg and sweeping their own leg on that one. But yeah, I just feel like until you can fix all these issues with the client itself, don't put it back up. Just don't put it back up. Just put Dark Visions on the shelf, and as a penalty to yourself to try to get this done, commit to giving everybody $5 or $10K every month. If you can't get a Dark Visions out on time, that works. Compensate the players for your failures. The only reason the game exists is because people have spent their money on it and carried it this far. Square, the publisher, is very, very quick to close down stuff that is not profitable. You just look at their hit list in 2023 already of things that are dead. We lost Record Keeper last year, so they've sold off a lot of their Western IPs. Like they're all in on NFTs, which is what this game is becoming. Unfortunately, is an NFT simulator. Because you won't even own it once the game goes down, right? You'll have to take screenshots of everything, of your account and all that. But yeah, I feel like this is something that needs to be handled quickly, effectively, and there needs to be communication about it. Because even though a lot of people out there are like, I don't really care about DV, that's missing the point. Okay, DV is like the only thing in the game for whales to really compete with each other, because there's no PvP in this game. Not for real. Arena doesn't really exist. You run like one team that always wins, and then you don't fight anybody else in real time, so that one team can't always win. If that mode goes away, you're going to start to see whales drop off. Not all of them, because some of them just like to collect pixel art, but a lot of them will. Or they'll stop taking it seriously to the point where they won't quit the game, but they're just not going to pull in all these random JP units that will only have a use in Dark Visions. So like it's in Gumi's interest to fix this, to protect their revenue stream and their business model, because again, their business model in the next 3 months is going to heavily rely on whales to carry the load. Most of us, we spent our Lapis on Nier. We spent our Lapis over the holidays, whether we pulled on, Ayaka or the unit that came after. I don't even remember which unit came after that I skipped. And then even if we had a bunch of Lapis left over, a lot of people went all in for Abigail because, she was just the magic version of Runda. And that's super useful to have if any fight requires you to have a magic tank on that level. So a lot of people push to get her to EX2, EX3, and they're drained. You can see I only have 35,000 right now. And I need to get to 60 before Rain comes out. And Rain's the real leader skill it's worth going for. So if they care about the game and the state of the game and their main customers, this has to get fixed, and it has to get fixed in a way that this is not going to happen. Same old story. DV comes out, Clash comes out, it's broken, or a part of it's broken, and then that's just it. You know, it doesn't get fixed. So we're totally used to that not getting fixed. I would not even bother trying to fix this. Just compensate fairly. Basically, give everybody. What you could do is just look at the top. Here, let's just go to the ranking awards, right? Look at the top 1,000. Give everybody at least top 1,000. Anybody who's in the top 10,000, give them the rewards for top 1,000. Because there's no way for you to be able to track how many people did this and to what degree. Okay? Because even without Riku, if you can bring a 7th party member, you can warp your score. So give everybody 2 Galvanite. This is the lowest tier with 2 Galvanite. It's only 2k Lapis. Then this is a 5th of a dark weapon. Give everybody minimum 1,000. Then if anybody that's actually in the top 1,000 that you don't ban, give them top 100. That's what I would do to the letter. Everybody gets top 100, and that still sucks. That's not great, because if you were a top 10 or top 50 player, you're still missing out on. Maybe they can give them top 50. Maybe anybody that's in the top 50 after they ban, or top 100 after they ban, gets a bonus top 50 reward. I don't know, something like you could do any version of what I'm talking about here. You could give anybody in the top 10k an equivalent of the top 500, or an equivalent of top 100, and then you can go top 10 for the people that are in the top 100 after the bans, after you clean up all the stupid bullshit scores. I don't know what the right solution is, but it's got to be something to this level. Everybody has to get double Galvanite, and everybody has to get some Lapis for this. It's just that's the way it is. All right, so with that, one more quick note here. We're gonna go into where is it? Okay, in the settings, and your own player info, and then you can rename yourself anything you want. Now, this is convenient, for fun stuff and all that. But as you can see when I was scrolling through that list there, you had like 3 Sinzars in that list, and like somebody trying like impersonating Cloud 03, and I'm sure you would see more, and all that. And those people are scumbags, but I don't really blame them for doing that, because the ability to do it is just in the game. It's free. Most games will charge you Lapis to rename your account, and maybe that's the system they need to go to. Now, I don't know if they need to do it on JP so much as they just need to do it on global, because I'm sure JP does not have a lot of these issues. And what might even be a problem, one of the problems of being so far behind them, is that if somebody does find a glitch in the JP's imported content, by the time they figure out how to perfect it and work it, that content may have rotated out. But guess what? It's coming back around in global, no matter what it is, eventually. And who knows if they could do this on the JP client, but. It is frustrating that we only have 8 characters. It's also frustrating that, somebody can impersonate you in a situation like this, to where you have to like make a video and or screenshot your phone or your emulator and post it to just show like, this is my account, here's my stuff that you see in my videos or whatever. It's just annoying. It's frustrating, and that's like what Gumi's doing to everybody right now. They're just on this like nonstop roll of just annoying people and frustrating people, and it's getting worse. I don't know exactly what you could do about this, but you could do something. This is a mobile game standard that is not up to plenty of games that are not only newer but older. Okay, there's games that are 2-3 years older than this that are still thriving right now today on mobile platforms that have a cost associated with the renaming system to where it's not like easily hackable, and then there's more than 8 characters to make your account name, so it's much more easy to distinguish yourself than normal. So if we do go to a unique account name in addition to ID, if you give people extra characters, you won't see as many ridiculous account names with just numbers and weird symbols. So that can be done. It should be done. I mean, I'm willing to wait for that because it is not that big of an issue. It's just annoying more than anything. It's way less important, but I just wanted to point this out in case, you know, some people are not realizing, like, oh yeah, I set my name when I made my account. You can literally rename it over and over and over and over for free at any time, which is what leads to this stuff. So now that that garbage is out of the way, let's actually take a look at the unit that came out this week. All right, so we've got our premium Obara. We talked about her last week, and she is somewhere in between disappointing and really cool. It's, again, a frustrating design. I'll let you watch the LB on your own. She has another skill, just like Melissa, that should be 100% uptime, and it isn't. Let me try to find it here. 5 and 5. Okay, that's a Magnus. Try to find it here. Oh, it might be her LB. No, it's not. I'm trying to find. She has something where her cooldowns don't line up properly. Oh, it's this one. Yeah. Okay. So, 4-turn cooldown, lasts for 3 turns. So again, I get it. She's not a dedicated support unit, but she has a support tag, and this is just so frustrating to work around. It's also bad for Clash, which is what she's designed for, because usually you're going to burst on turn 4, not turn 3, or maybe sometimes even turn 5. So you have to wait and put this in your rotation a little bit later. It's just annoying. It doesn't make the unit bad. Melissa's far from bad. But it's just so annoying and frustrating that this shit is like this, because then you have to do stuff in a very specific turn order. It makes mistakes harder to recover from. It makes grinding and Clash a lot less fun. It's just silly. I don't get it. It's not even that broken of an ability. Like this is like half of Sylvie's LB, and it hits morale, and it's like 20% less LB and half the stats. Like it's not even that big of a deal. You're only really going to use it for the LB boost when you're not bringing Sylvie. And there's going to be a lot of fights where you don't want to bring Sylvie now because of the tag or / category system. So this is a really good thing to have, you know, but why isn't this just 4 turns and just leave it? You know, why frustrate the players and make the kits more wonky and silly? But again, they answered that question on the live stream a week and a half ago, when we asked them, why do you make these weird designs where this ability blinds on use when it doesn't even deal damage to the enemy, and then that might trigger stuff that, like, you know, sets this off. And then why is this thing having Libra attached to it when, you know, the unit already has Libra, and, you know, like, nobody in their right mind is ever going to use Libra. We're going to go check the wiki. You know, it's just a silly, stupid choice for being silly and stupid's sake. There's no rationale. Or it's just to artificially nerf the unit. They're artificially nerfing this unit to make it weak so that they can copy and paste this later without these flaws and sell it to you again. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It sucks because she looks really cool. Abara is like one of the only 2 or 3 original characters that I really like the design of. I really like the design of this unit. The sprite's really cool. I like that she has katana because that fits the meta, and she has the best katana in peril available with her shifted LB. I'm sorry, her base LB? Yeah, base LB. And it also has this, you know, not Omni Killer, but 2/3 of an Omni Killer for herself. We were hoping that the Spirit Break would have been higher than this, but it's basically useless. I mean, this is the same break level as Obsidian Bracer, which is absurd, because why would a free item break, like... It's a premium unit. If you're going to put any break on it at all, you can at least go to like 87 or 88, which is like, you know, equivalent to a regular unit from a year ago in Kaito. That has it on a regular attack that can be used over and over again. I don't know. Just so much wasted potential here. You know, she's really good damage. She does great damage. But like, if something's gonna cost you 60,000 lapis minimum to get, and you're gonna get 0 frags, um, they have to be more than just good damage. Yeah, I don't know what to tell. People are just gonna skip content. Like, I am literally looking at DV and Clash right now, going, I've got all the currency. What do I need? What do I need to even do it for? If I can't get high enough in DV to get lapis, there's no point. And in Clash, I have every piece of gear with upgrades. I clear base 99, get all my free Xenostone and everything, and then I look at my 7,000 Xenostone laying around and going, okay, if they put out a new item, is this enough to get it immediately? It is? Okay, then I don't have to worry about Clash Wheels. Having people disengaged with the content is silly, and putting out another premium unit that doesn't like promise to not be scaled out very quickly, again, it's just going to lead to more disengagement, I think. One good thing is she's not limited like the previous Ibarra was. So there is a chance you can pull her. What's up, Horatio? How's it going? But really, when premiums come around, you want to be excited. You want to try to go for them. And also, the timing is terrible because all these high-end leader skill units that are coming from JP are also premium. So, like, these things are going to come, and then you're going to have to basically pick the 1 or 2 that you want and just go for them. And, it's just a bad state to be in. The game's in it's just a really weird state for the game to be in right now. I don't know how you make money doing it this way. So, yeah, anyway. There's not much else to say about her. You know, she's got, like I said, she's got the couple support abilities. She's mostly just damage. Looks really cool. Animations are awesome, but, like, 60,000 lapis is just incredibly insane, especially with, like, all these other units with better leader skills coming later. So, you know, save your lapis for Rain. If you want to throw some tickets at her, you know, feel free to throw some tickets. Or maybe even wait till tomorrow so that Dio is also available. You might want to pull the better leader skill. Yeah, I don't know. I wish I could tell you what they were thinking, but I just can't. All right, let's scroll on up here. So we've got a step up to get a vision card. That's pretty decent, not incredible or anything. And as you can see, at least on the step up here, you get 50 fragments for Ibarra. But you also don't get a ticket per step up to summon her. So if you want to get 50 fragments and a mediocre magic card, you have to spend another 25k on top of your 60,000 to get your Ibarra. And then if you want to get her card, which is actually really good, you got to go to EX3 with no support for her. So yeah, it's just unfortunate. This is, I think it's a slap in the face to the player base, but I mean, you know, this is what they do. This is the new normal. It has been for quite some time. It's not surprising. You know, we talked about it last week. And this Clash of Wills without leader skills has been pretty uninteresting. Like, you pretty much have to take either this new unit and then either Melissa or Lilith with her, or you have to take both of those two without her to get to rank 1. So really, since I don't have this new unit, nor do I have Lilith, I just basically went to 99 and stopped. And I'm disengaged completely with Clash until tomorrow. And even then, we're going to have to wait and see. It looks like every unit that matters for this Clash of Wills is going to get their baby leader skill. So Shantoto, Dark Rain, and, well, of course, this Ibarra, and then I think there's one more. They will get 100% leader skill, so, and since Dark Rain's getting his crowns, you should be able to crown him up and then put him into the party, and then his 100% boost on top plus his mediocre damage should be enough to make rank 1 a little bit easier. Like, I'm just going to put him in the spot where I would put Lilith or Ibarra, and I think I'll be able to do it from there. So thankfully, one positive, thankfully, they did not, like, balance this Clash around the 500% attack Diosis leader skill. You'll probably destroy it with Ibarra's leader skill if you have a magic party, and I'm sure you'll destroy it if you pull Dio tomorrow. But since people can already rank 1 it without a leader skill, that's really good news. So at least they had the foresight to do that and make sure that they didn't screw people out of being able to rank 1 this Clash without Diosis or Ibarra. But yeah, so I think there were some new fights this week as well, but they were a joke. Like, I literally took in parties that I didn't even look at. And, I blew it. It's only 2 fights. I blew it up without even thinking about it. And then we had a story event, which is, it wasn't bad, but it's a story event. So, yeah, like I said, let's just reiterate some of the stuff before we sign off here. I'm going to aim to do a state of the game episode sometime in probably either late April or early May, where I kind of take the 2 or 3 big conversations we've had over the last month or 2 or 3 even, and then put them in one episode that's a special episode, this year in Brave Exvius instead of this week. And we'll kind of maybe do that as I approach episode 52. But other than that, save your Lapis for Rain. Throw some tickets tomorrow at Dio. Ibarra's in the EX pool, so maybe you can get lucky and spike one of her. Best of luck on pulls. Hopefully your pulls are blessed by the RNG gods out there, and you have some help on pulling for some of these leader skill units that are coming. I just don't see how we're going to be able to pull for a JP leader skill unit here and then a Clash unit in the same month. So either Clash of Wills are going to have to not be scaled up to deal with the 500% leader skills and make them a breeze to clear, or they're going to have to scale down the cost, or they're going to have to figure something else out. I don't know. Maybe nerf leader skills in Clash or something. I don't know. I have no idea how to do it. Their revenue stream seems very flimsy and poorly thought out, and they're just kind of in this mode where they're resigned to copy paste the JP content in, and then work on Clash, and then when they fail Clash, we just deal with the failure. That seems to be the only 2 things that they have on their itinerary, and that's unfortunate and upsetting and sad. But I will see you guys all next week. If you want to catch this live, please join me over on Twitch. The link will be in the description box below. Right after the recording of this episode, once I get it edited and uploaded, we'll be going back live on the Twitch stream with some retro gaming tonight. So oftentimes on Wednesdays after the show, I will stick around and play some games afterwards. We always stream on Sunday when I'm not on vacation. And then there's sometimes some extra bonuses throughout the week. So we play all sorts of stuff besides Brave Exvius. So we play old Final Fantasy games. We run Final Fantasy IV randomizers sometimes. We've been playing some ARPGs lately, and we'll probably be starting up Final Fantasy XIV sometime in the next week or so, for at least a month, just to get back into the game and see what's going on. So there's all sorts of stuff going on over there. So if you want to hang out with me, in addition to watching the show, please feel free to join me on over there. And keep your eyes peeled for that this year in Brave Exvius episode coming later in the spring. And again, may all your pulls be blessed. See you guys next time.